It's been over 20 years since Justice League the Animated Series hit our collective TV screens, and superhero entertainment was never quite the same again. Now in 2021, J.M. DeMatteis and James Tucker have re-teamed on Justice League Infinity, a new book that seeks to not only celebrate everything that came before, but also serve as a continuation. Let's hop on in together into issue 1 and find out what happens next, shall we? Now, naturally, with a whole new world of potential for this series, I wasn't exactly sure where they were going to begin, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that for the first issue they actually went out of their way to revisit some unfinished business from the classic TV show. I'm of course talking about the amazing machine life form known as Amazo. If you need a refresher course, like in his comic counterpart, Amazo was built by Dr. Ivo, but unlike in the comics, the show's version of Amazo ran into Lex Luthor not long after coming online, and after that, kinda became an all-powerful god questioning its own very existence. Amazo left Earth at the end of that episode, and we hook back up with him here and now. It would seem that Amazo has been tearing his way through the deep dark infinity of space, still looking for answers to the eternal questions. Who am I? Why do I exist? And how do they get the little M's on the M&Ms? And while the amazing Amazo may not be that much closer to the answers that it seeks, Amazo has managed to find something else, something amazing, a magical door that seems to exist beyond the bounds of even his amazing comprehension. Maybe it's that heaven's door Bob Dylan was always singing about. Now back on Earth, we check back on in with John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. It seems since we last saw him at the end of the episode Destroyer, he's taken to walking the Earth again, taking multiple forms, different genders, races, orientations, all in an attempt to find more human connections and better understand his own place on Earth. So I guess you could say him and Amazo are both on quests of understanding and enlightenment. Now, back at the Metro Tower, the Justice League's Earth base of operations that we first saw in Batman Beyond and later in Justice League Unlimited following the Cadmus incident, it's the Flash's birthday and all of his friends have shown up to wish him well. It's a big who's who of heroes, and I must say I love getting to see all these old designs again. It's an absolute nostalgia trip. Why, I can practically hear all of them talking in their classic TV show voices too when I read the little bubbles, which you know is most definitely a good thing. Now, another big hanging plot thread that gets picked up in this first issue involves the love life of Hawkgirl and Green Lantern. John is still dating Vixen, but as we know from episodes based in the future, John and Shira will have a son named Warhawk, so surely they get back together at some point, right? You know, maybe it's a Barbara Streisand, James Brolin thing where they don't tie the knot until they're 56. The party ends up getting brutally crashed by Granny Goodness and her army of parademons. Darkseid had been defeated at the end of the Justice League series, and now the throne of Apokolips is up for the taking. Actually, in a very nice bit of writing, Superman and the others aren't 100% sure what happened to Darkseid, as both he and Lex seemingly disappeared after solving the anti-life equation. For what it's worth, before his own death, Dwayne McDuffie famously said that he felt that both men became part of the Source Wall, as does anyone who solves the equation. Things only get further chaotic when Darkseid's son Calabac and his forces show up hoping to also kill the Justice League and prove their right to rule Apokolips. Geez, you see, this is why the forces of evil really need to get a Google Calendar together to make sure they don't step on each other's toes and show up to the same big events. In a bit of great characterization, Wonder Woman tries her best to make peace with both sides, saying now that Darkseid is gone, they can work together to rebuild their planet better than ever. Unfortunately, on Apokolips, they hate idealism as much as they hate anything else and would much rather kill each other than make nice. Ultimately, the day is saved when Mr. Miracle, using his advanced knowledge of both boom tubes and mother box technology, is able to hack the system and send both Granny Goodness and Calabac back to where they came from. Oh, what's that? J.M. DeMatteis wrote this? Oh, and he also wrote The Ties That Bind, probably the biggest and best Mr. Miracle episode of Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, it adds up. However, even though this crisis has been averted, Amazo may have accidentally kickstarted something far worse. As the comic comes to a close, a crack begins to form in the universe, which, when it makes contact with Superman, changes him from regular old kindly Superman to, well, I think that might be Masterman, the evil Nazi Superman from another Earth, but I could be wrong. And so that was Justice League Infinity #1, and I must say it exceeded every one of my very high expectations. Getting DeMatteis and Tucker both back to work on this project is very appreciated, not only because of the direct references to the show, but the fact that the characters and their dialogue feels like it was taken directly from one of their old scripts. The art team also does an excellent job capturing the look and feel of the old show while also doing their own thing and not being slave slavish to the original style. More than anything, I appreciate that this feels like an actual real deal continuation and not some cheap reheating or revival that we're all too used to when it comes to old properties like this. I would give this one a much deserved 9 out of 10, and I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. If every issue is as fun and enjoyable as this one, then this book might quickly become the best Justice League on the shelf right now.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.